So today is the 111 portal, and the number 11 in numerology can mean making strides forward after facing significant challenges. So I'm going to pull 11 cards of what questions should you be asking yourself right now and really trying to get the true answer to get into that energy of that big success after the challenges that you endured, specifically the challenges in the last 3 to 5 years. So we're going to pull 11 cards. Question 1, parental influence. What parts of your parents or guardians do you notice reflected in yourself? What traits, both good and bad, are you inheriting from them? Looking at that in the way of what, if any, reparenting do I need to do? What tools was I taught from my parents that aren't helping me right now that I maybe need to look at from a different perspective? Number 2, feeling freedom. Think about feeling completely free. What images or memories come to mind? So what does freedom invoke energetically and emotionally in you? And what do you need to do to give yourself that feeling of freedom today? Number 3, no fears. If you had no doubts, no worries, or no fears of the unknown, what would you do? What would you do if you were not afraid? If you had nothing holding you back, what would you want to become? What would you want to learn if you weren't fearing failure? What would you try if you weren't fearing rejection? Getting very clear about those things and then addressing those fears and saying, are these really that scary, or am I using them as a crutch to hold myself back in some way? Number 4, future self. How do you see your future self dealing with your shadow self? So leap forward in consciousness to the version of you that you are working hard to become. How would that version of you face the shadows that right now feel overwhelming? Number 5, family. How can you break the negative behavioral chains that run through your family? The cycle stops with you. First, identify the cycle that's affecting you, and then figure out what needs to shift or change to break free from that cycle. Number 6, this is just a repeat after me. Every part of me, light and shadow, contributes to my wholeness. Every part of me, light and shadow, contributes to my wholeness. Number 7, limiting beliefs. What are your self-limiting beliefs? In what ways, now that you've identified the shadow, now that you've identified any family wounds that are present within you, what are the beliefs that hold you back? What is that? That's 7, so 8. So 8 came out with 2 cards. The authentic you. What do you believe is the most authentic version of yourself? You've identified the shadows, you've identified the patterns, you've identified the wounds and the limiting beliefs. What's underneath? Who are you without the layers of protection that you put up to keep you safe in this world? And how can you create the safe space for that version of you to thrive? And the repeat is, I am safe and secure as I explore all facets of my being. As I become my most authentic self, I am safe and secure to do so. This is 9. Number 9. Childhood activities. What activities did you enjoy as a child? What does this reveal about your inner child? So what can bring you back to reconnecting with your childhood, inner child version of self? What can you identify that you enjoyed then that you can kind of find those feelings now, but in things geared for your current age? Reconnecting with self. 10, life vision. What do you want your life to look like? How do you want to feel each day? So now that we got all the other stuff out of the way, you have the ability to see more clearly. Now that I know who I am, now that I know who I'm not, now that I know what I was carrying on from what I was taught, now that I'm reconnected with the part of myself that feels hopeful, that inner child, what do I want for my future? What do I want going forward? And number 11, inner teen, the step forward from the inner child. In your teenage years, what did you not receive? And how has this impacted you? That is your homework for right now. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3, and we're going to look at what portal of energy opens up for you upon completing this. When you get really clear about these answers and really are at peace with where you're heading based off of these answers, what opens up for you? 1, 2, or 3. If you picked number 1, Stargate Heart, so heart chakra opening, awakening. Oh, heart chakra opening. Unlocking generosity. So your heart is opening so that you can share it with yourself and share it with others. Vulnerability. So heart chakra opening that allows for more comfort in vulnerability. Pile 2. Akashic Records. Clearing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. Soul solitude. You are figuring out, almost like looking at yourself in a mirror, like your soul self for the first time, and really seeing yourself. This is clear vision that allows for a crown chakra opening and these downloads of information to come through that makes sense. And filling in the blanks is what I'm hearing. Filling in the blanks of what previously was not all the way understood. Pile 3, Emerald Tablet Activation, Cosmic Ordering, Divine Alchemy, Conscious Manifesting. So you're going to get some kind of physical proof of emotional, spiritual healing. A child's love. This is inner child healing. So as you work through, the important part of this for you is the inner child, inner teen part. And as you heal that part of you, you're able to manifest in something that you've been desiring, and it's proof of the hard work that you put in, of sitting through the uncomfortable moments.